Good afternoon, good afternoon. How are you today? Today is a very special day because it is Friday. I'm not sure if you're celebrating Fridays or not, but I must say that this should be a very special day for everybody. And I love Fridays because Fridays for me is all about relationships. I like to keep these days to relationships because I think this is the time when we finish our work. This is the time when we can actually go back to our families and spend really gorgeous, amazing weekend with our families, with our loved ones, with those people who are important in our lives, our other halves, and our children. So today I would like to dedicate this particular session on a really important topic, a topic which many men come to me to work on. Not necessarily they think this is a problem, but eventually when we start working on their mindset and when we start working on what exactly happens in their lives, very often many men understand that actually their women are way too bossy. Their women are not accepting them the way they are, and their women are way too controlling. So I wonder, those who are listening to me right now, have you seen somebody around you in your environment, in your social circle, who is very bossy? A woman who is ruling in her relationships, a woman who has the balls. You know what I'm talking about. Or maybe you as a man, if you're a man watching me right now, have you been in your relationships when your woman was way too controlling, way too bossy, and you did not have the room to be more masculine? I must say, as I said earlier, it is something what many people experience. It is something what many couples are struggling with. Polarity in their relationships. And today I would like to talk deliberately and specifically about one topic which is related to relationship mindset, which is why women become so bossy in their relationships. All right. So please do let me know where you're joining me from. Please share your location and please also share if you have seen me before. What did you learn? What was the biggest golden nugget for you so far? I would love to know. All right, so there are a few reasons why women become a lot more bossy than others. As you can imagine, now let's remember those little girls who are born and who are so innocent, right? Are they really bossy? No, they're not. Are they really the ones who like to rule in their families? No, they're not. You can see some of them being leaders, right? But not necessarily that will be very bossy, right? So here we need to remember that there's always somebody in a family who will be a leader, right? And naturally, of course, we usually see a man being a leader. We see a man being a leader in many industries, in many areas of our lives. And of course, right now there's a big movement about empowering women, which I'm not against. However, I need to say that here, whilst you empower women, let's not disempower men, okay? Because this is a dangerous situation which the world is going into right now. It's not about the women empowerment today. Let's why women became bossy. So as you can imagine, in a family, there could be only one partner who actually is a leader, just like everywhere else. In the business, even if you have partnership, still there's one person who will be better at decision making, right? The same happens in the family. There's one person who will be leading their family. So what happens when woman is becoming bossier? That's simply because man doesn't show up, right? Let me repeat it again. Man doesn't show up. And that's the reason why many women become bossy, right? Here, I must say, it's easy to say, oh, man, just start showing up and women will change. However, it's harder to deliver because for generations, girls have been witnessing strong mothers leading their families, right? This is happening now, not for just 10 years. This is happening from generation to generation, right? Post-war times, what happened? Men came back, they were injured. They haven't had their legs, or they haven't had their arms. They couldn't provide for family. So what women did, they went to jobs and they started providing for their families. Therefore, children of that generation saw that, and that became a blueprint. That became that particular story and those girls' mindset, that it's exactly what you do. You go and you show up. You go and you provide. You go and you become the leader in a family because man is injured. The one thing they forgot, that was simply because man was injured. But men are not injured anymore physically. However, mentally, they still are, right? It is really obvious how many men nowadays became more feminine. It is really obvious how many men don't want to step up simply because women are disempowering them, right? So if you're in relationships where you feel you as a woman become a bit bossier and you feel that your masculine energy within yourself, and if you don't know about this, please reach out to me. If your masculine energy is rising up, this is the time for you to start rebalancing yourself and helping your man to increase his masculinity. If you are a man and you can see your energy lowering down and you can see that your masculinity drops, this is the time for you to increase your masculinity. Because the minute you drop your masculinity, your woman will start showing up more, right? So very often is not something what people pay attention to, but it's something what you can see on a daily basis. For example, a man gets back home and he's too late, right? For one or another reason. A woman start blaming him for being too late. Women start complaining to him for being too late. Women start telling him what he should do before he comes back home, right? This is stepping above man, and this is saying to man what he should do. You don't boss man, right? When you start doing that, unfortunately, man, to please you, and this is a dangerous situation, to please you, man will start doing that because he wants to avoid those arguments, because he doesn't want to upset you, because he wants to make you happy. He will start calling you in advance. He will start informing you about everything what he does during the day. Do you think as a lady that will make you happy? No, it will not. Because of course you want to know what's happening. Of course you want to understand where your man is and you want to be aware. But at the same time, you start training men. And trained men, unfortunately, will bore you one day. And that's why men, sometimes you can tell, like, I'm a good man, I'm a provider, I'm a nice husband, I come back home, I play with children, I do everything for her, and she cheats on you. She cheats on you because you lowered your masculinity. And I know it can be quite harsh, what I say right now, right? Probably it's quite hard to even comprehend and even accept. I understand that. But after working with so many couples and also in experiencing that in my own relationships before, I know how big damage it creates in your relationships, right? So here, how we can help to resolve the situation is, from women's side, let's stop domesticate men. Right? Men are there to provide, men are there to protect, men are there to win, to be the achiever, right? We can help them to be achievers, but at the same time, it's not about domesticating them. It's not about feminizing them, right? I know as a woman, you will challenge your man. And man, let's remember that here, yes, you will be challenged, but that naturally is what you need. Right? Naturally, you grow better when you are challenged. Naturally, you achieve more when you're challenged. Naturally, you want to do more when you are challenged. Because if you are not, then you start to relax. And therefore, it's really important to remember that for you, in order to increase your masculinity, you need to not allow your woman to domesticate you. Right? What do I mean by that? It sounds really weird, like a pet, right? But that's exactly what some women do with their men. They domesticate their men, right? They make them almost like puppies. And this is not the way to go. Unfortunately, many women, they will do it because of out of fear to be cheated again, out of fear to be hurt again, out of fear to be left. Right? So it's safer to domesticate men. However, it's not the happy spot to be. So how do we not let women to domesticate you? First of all, remember it is about continuing your individuality, continuing your personal life. Whatever you were doing before, your sport activities, your races, your friends, your travels, whatever your passions you had before you got together with your woman, continuing doing those. Right? This is how you can stop your woman to domesticate you. Still show up as a man, still be a man. Relationships is not getting together and being together all the time, right? Because when you spend that much time together, unfortunately, your masculinity will drop. This is a very natural, this is a chemical process within your brain. So when your testosterone will drop because you spend so much time within feminine energy, you will just become domesticated. And then your woman, because the energy should show up in relationships, she will have to step up for herself. So this is how you can help your woman not to become too masculine. And very often, of course, you see those women who already are masculine. The reason why they're masculine, because they had to show up before. They had to show up in their relationships before, especially if she's a single mom and she was running her household for a while by herself, she will be very masculine. If she's in a business, she will be a lot more masculine. If she is independent, she will be a lot more masculine. But it doesn't mean she cannot become more feminine. You might take some more time than typical feminine woman to help her to find her femininity. But the more you raise your masculinity, the more she'll be able to grow in her feminine energy, right? And this is how you can really improve your relationships, because very often women start pushing you too much, and what you do, you want to please her and you lean back. You become domesticated. Right? So in order for you to be in a really happy relationships, don't let her domesticate you. Simple is that. Be you as a man, continue your regular life, which you were doing before. And I don't mean don't start spending more time with family. I'm not advocate of that, okay? What I'm saying here is don't forget about your friend. Don't forget about your activities. And a woman, you're playing here a really crucial role, okay? When your man, he wants to go away, spend time with his friends, let him do it. Seriously, let him do it. If he didn't see his friends for a while, ask him, when was the last time you've seen your friends, right? Make sure he goes and he sees friends. Because why you want to do that as a woman? Because he will come back and he will give you even more of his affection, even more of his attention, even more of his appreciation, right? So here it's about the right balance. Spend time together, but please allow your man to go away and rebuild himself, to rebuild his masculinity. Because the more time he will spend with you, the more domesticated he'll become. And then you as a girl, you will be tired of that. You will not like it. And you will think, oh my God, he's always around. He's always saying what I say. He's always doing what I want him to do. It will become boring. In terms of relationships, why we are so into new relationships? Because it's new, because it's exciting, because everything is so fresh, because everything is so spicy, but you can lose it. You really can lose it if you domesticate your partner. Right? So let's keep it going. So I can see here a comment on LinkedIn. What I can do if she used my love to be very bossy and even doesn't accept to discuss the case to solve. She considers that is her right. Well, here I would suggest to connect with her on a heart level. Not the logic level, not the head level, the heart level. Right? The way how you can break through the eyes, which every woman has, is connecting to her heart, right? Connecting to that source of love, to that source of appreciation, right? It is, yes, as I said earlier, with more masculine women, it will take a bit longer time to help them to become more feminine, but it is possible. And how you can do it? Through her heart, right? Have you practiced coming to your woman and giving her a hug for at least 6 seconds, right? Wait for that time. Give her a hug, but again, give her a hug heart to heart, right? Heart to heart. Because with strangers, how we do cuddle, we usually go this way, right? You want to go the other way. When you connect heart to heart, your energy starts flowing, right? Second thing, you hold this cuddle for 6 seconds. Why 6 seconds? Because first cuddle is almost like, yeah, okay, I give you a cuddle and then let's go, right? The barriers are still there. She's still too strong. She's still protected. She's still guarded. And there's a reason why she's like that. Maybe she was hurt before. Maybe she was abandoned. Maybe she didn't see that love in her family. That's why it's so important to learn about your partner's family before you go into relationships, right? So when you do this hug for 6 seconds, heart to heart, you will literally feel how your woman, she will relax. And she will have this deep inside, and she will exhale, and she will feel much softer. And you will feel the shift in the energy, right? But that can be achieved only when you hold that hug for 6 or longer seconds, right? So just do that and see how energy will be shifted. All right. And second thing, appreciate her. Connect to her feminine side. What is feminine side? It is love. It is connection. It is appreciation. It is praise. Find what is her love language is, right? Speak to her in her love language. I'm not going to spend time not talking about love language, but if you go to my YouTube channel and you type Olga Geidane, 5 love languages, I give very condensed information about 5 love languages, which actually will help you to speak to your partner in her love language, right? And then once you deliver her that love which you have for her, she will melt. But if you don't deliver that love at her love language, she doesn't connect with you, right? So here, it's really important to connect with her at the heart level. This is how you can help her, right? And again, it's not on the logic level. It's not on the mind level. It is on the heart level, right? And the reason why women are more guarded, let me just tell you this a little bit more. Again, let's remember, I'm a mindset coach, right? And everything starts with a mindset. As a girl or as a boy, you are in your family and you observe what your mom and your dad does, right? Your mom becomes your role model. Your dad becomes your role model, right? This is how you think my partner should be like, based on your role model. Even if you don't like the way your mom or your dad was, subconsciously, not consciously, subconsciously, you still get attached to that role model. And you believe subconsciously that this is the normality. This is how all women are. This is how all men are. So you will be subconsciously attracted to this type of person until you break the cycle. The way how you can break the cycle is to start retraining your conscious, which will go deep into subconscious, by starting paying attention to opposites, right? What is the opposite to what my mom or my dad was? So going back to why some women are more guarded, why they're more bossy than others, let's see what happened in their families. Have they been abandoned? Have they maybe been rejected by their dad? Have their parents divorced? Maybe dad was insulting mom. Maybe dad was violent to her mom, and now she knows this what it is. And that's why now she decides for herself to protect herself. And that's why she is so hard. And that's why she is so bossy. Because this is coming from the anger and the fear of being abandoned, fear of being hurt. What was her first relationship like, right? So before you go into relationship, there's so much more to learn about each other rather than what's their favorite color, what's your goals in life, what do you do for job, right? You need to know what happened to your partner before, if they have resolved those issues, if they're healthy and ready to step up into new relationships. Right? This is something what you should consider. This is something what you should work on if you really want to have healthy and happy relationships. Because very often what happens, people step into relationships thinking, oh my God, this person is perfect. We have great chemistry between us. Of course you do. These are early days. Of course you do, because you just met. Of course you do, because This is new. Everything is so exciting. First birthday, first Christmas, and everything else. But the minute you start learning about what happened to your partner before, and you start learning about what happened to me before, you start matching these two experiences together, you can see what's going to happen with your relationships. So let's break that cycle, right? So going back, let me just repeat again what we discussed today. Woman, stop domesticating man. Right? Allow man to be in his feminine zone. If you want your man not to go into middle life crisis, buying a car, buying fast motorcycle, don't stop him from buying those now. Right? Challenge him to succeed, but don't challenge your man to become domesticated puppy. Right? Allow your man to be a man. He wants to speed, let him speed. He wants to go out with guys and do some crazy stuff, allow him to do it. Of course, there is limitation. And I'm not saying let them go wild, because when man will be in his masculine mode, he will want to come back to you and he will want to deliver. He will be affectionate and he will want to love you and he will want to give you back, because you allow him to have his own time. David asks me the question, this is how all men are. This is how all women are. Yes, you see, going back to what stories we are growing up, this what all men are based on what you have seen in your childhood. Yeah, that's very, very common. Sebastian says, you seem to be a great mediator. Thank you so much. Yes, I work with many, many couples. And I must say, when both of them are sitting in front of me and woman is shouting back at man, and man just sits there and he's just like, you see what she's like? And I'm like, yes, because you don't show up. Because you don't show up. Because you don't put the energy in place. I'm not now talking about being violent. I am completely against violence. But have you heard of those cases when man was the perfect husband and then eventually he murdered his wife? He had enough. He literally had enough, right? I'm not saying now, girls, let's be afraid of that, right? No, it's not about that. But let's remember that it is important for a man to have his own time, for a man to rebuild his masculinity by doing his own activities. The best of the best books I can highly recommend. I reread this book 3 times so far, and you will find a lot more information about this, is Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. This book is out there already probably for 30 years or so. I interviewed the author, John Gray. He came to my show 3 times so far, and every time there was so great insight. Go back to my YouTube channel and you will find great interviews. Type Olga Geidane and John Gray, lots of information from him. But I must say that everything starts from educating yourself, right? It is time for you to step up for your relationships if you want your relationships to be the happiest, right? So, rewinding back, stop domesticating your man, okay? Woman, allow your man to be man. Man, connect with woman at the heart level. The minute you see your woman becomes bossy here, show up, right? Simply show up. One of my clients, he was complaining about his woman being bitchy all the time. And we simply agreed next time when she will become a bit bitchy, he will turn around and he will just simply tell her firmly, but not with violence, could you please stop it? I had enough. That's it, right? This is something what we all can say. But man, he wants to please you, right? Man, he wants to really, really make you happy. And he says, okay then, as you wish then, you decide then. So if you don't want that, man, show up and tell, enough is enough. I had enough of your bitchiness, right? And then guess what she did? He couldn't believe his own eyes. She stopped, she apologized, and she was nicer that evening, right? Of course, it takes a bit longer than one evening, right? It doesn't happen overnight, but that was nice. And I will talk more about how we can help women, right? And I will talk more about other topics in the following weeks. However, I'm not now trying to cover everything because we can do it for the entire day, right? But here how you can help your woman to stop being so bossy. Show up, right? And I would say leave. Help her to drop her masculinity by you leaving, rebuilding your masculinity, and come back and love her. Come back with flowers, spoil her, come back being loving. Because this way you will train your woman to let you go, right? Naturally, when you come back, you will usually have to re-enter the space because women are angry you left, women are disappointed you left, women wanted just to stay with her at home and do things together. But when you come back and you show up with a lot more attention, she'll be like, I guess it's a good thing for me to let him go. Of course, now we can go into complication of what if a woman will think you're cheating on her. But let's not go there. That's a topic for a different day, okay? Relationships is a lot more than just getting together. There's a lot more to learn. So here, it's really important to do step-by-step things, okay? Step-by-step actions which will help you to rebuild yourself as a man and for you women to rebuild yourself as a woman. Next thing which I see very often happens in relationships, men asking permission from his woman, right? They literally call to double check with something instead of making decision, right? Okay, honey, would you like to go out tonight? And she's like, yeah, okay. Man, how about calling your wife saying, darling, I'm taking you out tonight. And she says, I can't do it tonight. Okay, when can you do it? Okay, it's not about now, oh, you can't do it. I tried and she was busy. Of course she was busy, right? But when you start calling her, asking, what do you think? Shall we do that? She's like, oh, show up. Just show up. Just be the man. Make a choice. Make decision. Not consciously. Again, not consciously. It happens subconsciously, right? So here, what you can do, stop asking for permission. Make a call and tell her, we're going to do X, Y, Z here and then. Okay, or when are you free, right? When are you free? And then make a plan from then. Very often men would ask questions like, okay, which place would you like to go for dinner? And the woman's like, oh, I'm lost. Okay, I prefer to go here. I prefer to go there. And then there are troubles, then there are questions. There's so many more things. And you're like, oh, of course. Because it's so much easier to ask her, okay, what's your preference? What places are your favorites? And then surprise her. Take her to your favorite place, right? By showing up, by stopping asking permission and delivering instead, you will show her who is leading relationships. And now I'm not talking about disrespecting your woman because I'm highly against that. I left my relationships before because I was disrespected. I wasn't valued, right? So I am against that, right? But I do know that as a woman, when you allow your man to show up, if you don't boss him around, if you allow him to be man, then he will show up for you. And if you have some trust issues as a woman, I would say go resolve them. That's it. Your man, he shouldn't prove you can trust him. So the same relates to women. Your woman shouldn't prove you that you can trust, right? It's about your own issues. And I will talk about one of the sessions, right? So tune in, okay? Tune in. Sign up for my, subscribe to my YouTube channel because you will get notifications if you're watching me on YouTube right now. I will talk more about more things in relationships, right? Because I had enough of seeing so many broken couples. I had enough of having so much drama and having so many unhappy people. I had enough seeing so many people getting divorced again. And I know the pain of going through divorce because I'm a divorcee myself. And I know why I got divorced because I was, and here's revelation, right? I was too bossy myself, believe me or not. I was because I saw that in my family. My mom was very masculine. Why was she so masculine? Because her mom, my grandma, was very masculine. Simple as that. So subconsciously, I learned this is normal. Was I happy like that? No. Because the minute we grow up apart, and why we grew up apart? Because my man wasn't showing up, so I had to show up. I had to earn. I had to deliver. I had to make decisions. Do you think it made me happy? No. And that's why I got divorced. So guys, I know the pain myself personally. And I know the pain. I see the pain, not in my office anymore because it's locked down, but I see the pain from people when we work with couples over the Zoom. I see them being deeply unhappy because women domesticated men and men allowed that to happen. Okay? So as I said earlier, stop domesticating your man. Allow them to have their own life, right? Men, stop asking for permission, deliver instead. Connect with your woman at the heart level, right? And when woman is pushing you, allow her to push you so you can succeed, but don't allow her to push your masculinity. All right, these are two different things. She will make you succeed if you will be stretched. And why women do that? I'll talk about this more at one of the videos. But the reason why we push you as a man, because we want to make sure you are the best out of the best all mankind species to be with. Right? We are testing you. We want to make sure you'll be able to deliver. You'll be able to keep us safe. You'll be able to provide for our family. You'll be able to look after our offspring, which we're going to deliver to you, right? And that's why we will push you. So here, let's remember that you can improve your relationships by allowing your man to be a man, showing up, and you as a man help your woman to become more feminine by raising your masculinity. I have here a couple of comments. Let me just double check. Ahmad says, I'll try heart to heart. Hope to succeed. Wonderful. Let me know how it goes. And now I have a bit more comments here on Facebook. Let me just go through them. Oh, I see so many comments. Thank you so much. And so many people join me. Thank you so much. So Everell says, sometimes men need to be domesticated. Of course, everybody needs to, right? You can't really build a family with somebody who is wild, okay? Absolutely. The right balance is the answer. It's all about the balance. Olga Brooks says, so true, but we are now in the mid-age. Yes, true, but doesn't mean we have to now be completely opposite, right? No, we still are feminine, we still are masculine. Ruth says, thank you, Olga, wonderful insights. I'm so happy you like it, Ruth, that's amazing. And Robert says, morning from Canada and afternoon where you are. Yes, exactly, amazing morning. Thank you so much, Robert, for joining me. Robert says, I'm not interested in romancing any man. Bingo! Exactly. You said it in a perfect way, Robert. Man doesn't want to be with a man. So woman, if you're too masculine, hear what Robert says. And Robert, he is phenomenal speaker. He is super achiever. He's Guinness record holder. He was at my show as well. Okay, so type in YouTube Olga Geidane and Robert J. Moore. You will see our interview. He's phenomenal man. And he says that I don't want to romance any man. That's exactly what happens, right? Men don't want that. I cannot make plans with my wife unless she knows a day in advance because she has a tendency of being tardy, a person who is always late. However, when we do go out, it's the feeling and I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. There we go. You see, it's beautiful when you still pin down your woman and you make that plan and you take her out. I love that. Aaron says, Olga, you are a dream come true. You're so welcome, Aaron. Thanks for sharing. It is my pleasure. Well, I must say, yes, right now, how many years? 12 years later. No, I got married when I was 19. At the age of 19, I knew nothing about relationships. Absolutely nothing. Right now, I definitely know a lot better. So, of course, comments like these, Aaron says, your dream come true. Yes, I hear it a lot from my partner as well. I must say, it is something what you can learn, right? If I did that, you can do it too. You can learn how to build the most amazing relationships. You can learn how to be the most perfect partner for your partner, right? Partnership, relationships, it's a beautiful union. It's a co-creation, right? It's of you two creating something beautiful. And here, if so far you don't think that you're convinced about working on your relationships, think about your children. Think about your grandchildren, right? Would you like your child to be in a relationship you are in right now? If the answer is no, that means you have to start paying attention to your relationships, right? If you would be okay with your child being in a relationship you are in right now, in that case, bless you. I'm so happy. That means you found your soulmate. That means you are really happy. And this is remarkable. But those who are not sure about your relationships, just contact me and we can improve your relationships. I remember one couple came to me. They were just about to get divorced for the second time. Second time. They were married before, they raised their children, they got divorced. They missed each other so much, they realized they made a mistake, they married together, and now they were just about to get divorced again. They came to me and we only had to do little tweaks. Little tweaks would help them to have really wonderful relationships. Not only for them, the most amazing part of our collaboration at that moment was they were able to deliver those important messages which they have learned to their children and also their very young grandchildren, because they already had grandchildren. So if they manage to rebuild their relationships with me, imagine what we can co-create together within your relationships. And if you're single, I would say this is the best time for you to work on your future relationships, because your future relationships will depend on how much groundwork you will do right now on your previous relationships and also on your family blueprint about relationships. So be wise and step up for your relationships. Step up and decide to have the best relationships ever in your life. This you can do by contacting me and we can work together with you to improve your relationships to make it a lot better. Well, thank you so much for listening to me today. It was a great pleasure to have you all, to have these amazing comments from you. I really appreciate it and I really value that. I hope you will be able to apply a couple of these tips which I gave today. There's of course a lot more to learn. There's of course a lot more to pass on to you, and I will do, and I will definitely will do over the time, over the next few weeks and months. I'll be bringing more and more relationship topics into these sessions on Fridays. But I must say that you can make this decision for yourself today to step up for your relationships and to improve it from today. All you have to do, reach out to me, and we can make it happen. Because what can be better than actually having the best relationships ever, where you are happy, where you're satisfied, where you're feeling like you are the happiest person in the world. So thank you so much. It was a pleasure to see you. It was a pleasure to have you here. Wherever you do, have a wonderful, wonderful day. Please make sure you connect with your woman at the heart level. And woman, stop domesticating your man. Allow your man to show up for you so they can make you a lot happier and a lot loving. Simple as that. I'll see you on Monday at 7:30 a.m. Wherever you do, have a wonderful weekend. But on Monday, 7:30 a.m., I will be on LinkedIn going live, helping you to kickstart your day with 10 minutes of inspiration. So connect with me on LinkedIn. Just type my name, Olga Geidane, and I'll see you there at 7:30 a.m. Wherever you do, have fun, stay safe, love each other, and have hot and spicy time over the weekend. Take care.